I will not cry. I will not cry. That was my mantra after dropping off my daughter with her grandma. I was going on a trip of a lifetime. There was absolutely no reason for me to be on the verge of bawling my eyeballs out. I was the envy of everyone I knew. But there I was in the Old Navy parking lot, blubbering like a small child. When my husband told me he was going to Scotland and England on a business trip and wanted me to join him, I jumped at the chance. I didn't give a second thought to whether my 18-month-old daughter would go. She wouldn't. You couldn't pay me to take her on an international flight, especially since we were flying economy. Not enough time, not enough patience from me or the other passengers. There was no way I was going to be the most hated woman for 11 plus hours. Besides, Mama needs a vacation too. My husband mentioned bringing her along a couple of times, fully admitting he was going to miss the little tyke, but I was adamant with my refusal. Not only could I picture the horrific plane ride, but I could see a very cranky toddler getting cold and tired with every sightseeing trip. She wouldn't care that Scottish castles have stood there for ages, or that the London Guard have no sense of humor. She would scream because she wanted out of the stroller, scream that she wanted food, scream when she needed to sleep, scream that she didn't want to sleep, and by the end of the vacation, I would be screaming that I needed a vacation. So, I did what every smart mama does, and I shipped her off to Grandma's house. She was more than happy to have her. 2 weeks with the only grandchild to herself, she was ready to spoil her rotten without me being around to say, she doesn't need that. The day came and I packed her clothes, favorite toys, and mountain of diapers. I strapped her into the car seat and told her we were going on an adventure. She slept all the way there while I listened to an audiobook. We've done the same thing a million times before on the way to Grandma's house, tricking my brain into believing it was just another visit. Before I knew it, we were at the meeting spot. I climbed into the back seat and pulled my baby girl onto my lap. She held my cheeks and went in for a big sloppy kiss, thankful that I had freed her from the confinement of the dreaded torture device known as the car seat. That's when it hit me like a semi-truck going full speed on an ice-covered highway. I was leaving my baby for 12 days. 12 days. Would she know what was going on? Would she be scared even though she's been to Grandma's house a million times? Would she hate me when I got back? I looked at her little face, full of smiles as she looked out the window. I love you, Bug, I said, swallowing the knot that threatened to come out in a babbling, bawling excuse for a mommy. How could I do this? How could I leave her? What kind of mommy goes on vacation and leaves her daughter behind? How selfish am I? About that time, my own sister and mother showed up. My daughter's face lit up at the sight of her grandma and aunt. I hugged my girl tight and got out of the car. The minute my feet hit the ground, she lunged towards my mom. I handed her over. Am I doing the right thing? Mom looked at me as if she'd entered the middle of a conversation. What? Leaving her, I said as a tear escaped before I could blink it away. My mom smiled. This will be the hardest thing you'll ever have to do, but it won't be the last time you have to say goodbye to your baby. This time it's only temporary, and yes, you're doing the right thing. Mom handed my daughter off to Aunt Bee and gave me a hug. I hate every time I have to tell you goodbye and you're 35 years old. But it's our job as mothers to not only raise our babies, but to know when it's okay to let them go. I hugged my very wise mother one more time and hopped up to see my baby girl. I kissed her head and studied a face I love more than anything in this world. It was time to say goodbye to my daughter. Goodbye, Bug. I'm gonna miss you so much, but you're gonna have a lot of fun with Grandma and Grandpa. I love you. She reached up, her chubby hand caressing my face. Mama. I knew that was her way of saying it was okay to go, and that she loved me too.